Let's have a check what I've paid. Yeah, $79.99. So they were listed at $99.99 and then they did a 20% off offer and I couldn't resist because I have been looking for some. So I have a specific thing in mind, actually, and that is to change the colour of them to green, like an olive green, which I believe I've already put some colours in my eBay basket. Got a tickly dry throat at the minute. So I'm not going to be changing the colour of these today because I want my dye before I do that. And there's no point deglazing them when I've not got the dye because you need to put the dye on after you've deglazed while it's still wet, at least with the items I'm using anyway. Right, why do I not see it in there? Let's have a look in another basket that I have because I know I saved some colours. Come on, where are you? So I want an olive green, but I want to be able to do a few highlights. Don't see it on there either. Could have sworn I'd saved some colours. I may just go for whatever green I can get in the brand I've already used. But it's a bright green, but I could use a darker green polish on them then. I've even considered using an acrylic paint, but something's telling me no. Not for some I've spent 80 quid on anyway. But I do think it's good, you know, on like black ones, you know, if you were using black, you could do that and cover scratches really well. But on something you're changing the colour of from a light colour, any scratches that are already on are probably going to darken. But these are really quite good, good nick, which you'll see when I take them out of the bag. But the reason I've not taken them out of here yet is because I wanted to show something else first. And that is a pair that I've already kind of revamped. Now, they're not the best photos because my lenses on my phone are broke and I don't have the money to go and just buy a new phone. I don't upgrade every 5 minutes. I do what I need to do. And if the phone will do without upgrading for a few more years, that's what will happen. It's not a new model. So what I'm going to show you is the pair of shoes I've already done is a photo before. And just to explain about these, I bought these shoes when I was still married, which is probably about 20 years or more ago. I'm just looking for the photo of them before I did anything with them. So I used to go to Northern Soul Do's, and I liked my leather sole shoes because I used to do a lot of dancing, and leather soles were better for that, especially on a wooden floor. So, gosh, where are your shoes? There we go. So I've got two pairs actually. The ones on the left are the ones that I've already done. So the Loakes brogues, and I'm just cleaning my screen a little bit before I put my iPad in front of the camera. Ones on the left are the Loakes, and the ones on the right I actually bought from Manchester probably about 30 years ago from Red or Dead, which, if I'm remembering correctly, was in Affleck's Palace. I'm not too sure. So basically they've been in the loft for about 20 years, and the roof was redone, and a load of crap always falls down, like black gritty crap, and it's horrible. They were just such a mess. Now keep in mind, when I got them they were actually tan, so I already deglazed these when they were brand new to make them pretty much oxblood. So here are the two pairs of shoes. So these ones here are the Loakes. I'm not sure which way around it's showing. Yeah, that's right. They're the Loakes. And they're the ones I got from Red or Dead. So they've both already gone to the cobblers, but these just needed the heel, sole, and I have steel quarters, I think they call them, put on. I'm having the same done with these, but these needed a resock as well. So these have cost me 80 quid to get the soles done, and they're costing me 130 to get the resock and the soles and the heels done. So the ones that I've already done, these, are currently now these, which I'm really quite pleased with, if I'm honest. I think they've come up really good for a pair of probably 20-odd-year-old shoes. So I've had them on a little bit. You see the steels I've had done. So when you go anywhere, click, clop, click, clop. You hear me coming. So I've not brought them in yet properly. I've had them on a bit. But yeah, they're what I've done. So I used Fibings deglazer first and removed all the colour again, using wool daubers. And then as soon as I'd done that on both shoes, I used Fibings Oxblood leather dye, and it's only used maybe a centimetre out of the top to do the shoes. So that I'll get another pair done. I'll get at least another 3 or 4 pairs done with that. If anybody wants any Oxblood brogues or boots doing, changing colour, or I'm not sure how well they would take from black. But they were a tan, but not a pale tan. They were darker. Anyway, so that's them now, which I'm really quite pleased with how they've turned out. And so I thought, I wonder if that's something that would interest others. Now, what I actually saw that I liked was these. And this is what gave me the idea, because I can't find any of those in my size, in my price. So that's why I've bought the ones I've bought, to strip the colour and dye them. So this is the kind of colour I'm hoping to end up with, something along those lines. So I'm kind of reinventing my style after a lifetime of being bits of everybody else, what they wanted me to be. And I quite like shirts. I used to always wear Ben Sherman's button-down collars, 501 jeans, my brogues, bomber jacket, you know, Flyer or Harrington, Crombie, whatever. And as you get older, you just, you're not you, are you? You don't seem able to be you. And so I'm trying to find who I am instead of who everybody else wants me to be. So I've been buying new clothes, not least because I lost a lot of weight. So none of my clothes fitted me properly. And just for giving you a clue, I was like size 22 and getting up towards like 17 and a half, 18 stone after years of being on medication for pain and different things. And I decided things needed to change. And I got off those medications and I lost, well, I just got down a few months ago, although unintentionally, to 8.5 stone, and I'm in a size 12 now again. So there's no choice but to get new clothes. So I've been trying to actually get clothes that I like, and I found that I can't find any. I can't find clothes much that I like in shops. I found a few bits, but trousers that are like 18 inches wide each leg, it's just not me. I don't like it. I like clothes that fit me. I don't see the point in having to wash and dry enough material to make 3 pairs of trousers with for 1 pair of trousers. It's just a waste to me, that. So I've been using eBay and charity shops. So this has been my thing, because I actually find that you can get better clothes. And while some may still not be cheap, you're not paying the full price. So I figured I'd get my shoes back out of the loft anyway, because I'd planned on doing this. So these are the original pair. So I'm going to order my dye to do my green ones, which are these beauties in here. So these, Burford 2 tan. So these are boots rather than a shoe. Goodyear welted sole. So these have just been delivered this morning. Let's see if I'm in shot better. That way a bit. Okay. Little book in there. Quality assurance. Pictures of different ones. Sorry, I'm a little bit... I should be turning it that way, shouldn't I? Doesn't look like they're in there anyway. But yeah, just a little booklet. Always use a shoe on when putting on your shoes. Wear them in dry conditions for the first few occasions. Good little booklet, really. Chuffed that it's still in here with it. So I've got these 2 bags, which I'm guessing 1 for each boot, for wrapping them up in. And here's the boots. So I'm really quite pleased with these. I mean, they've obviously been worn. But you know, they've still got the solid heel. I've seen a pair on eBay and all this were creased in, like there's some weight been on it, and that wouldn't be good really. I'm no leather expert, but because I've worked on leather, I've made belts, dog collars, clocks, leather seats, tool rolls, you know, different things really. I've even done pictures. Many years ago, I used to have a little green Mini, and the back shelf, I did it all in leather and carved it all. Did animals, little buildings, all sorts on there. So it looks like there's a little bit of glue there, but that's okay because when I deglaze it, this will come off. That's been done during manufacturing. That's why there's little pale spots there. Don't want to be too rough on it. But you can see that glue's got on there. So yeah, that'll come off. So they're in good condition. Soles are alright. The heels are they've hardly been worn, have they really? You know, they've not even been properly broken, I wouldn't say. So, I don't know how good these will come up, whether they'll come off or not, these marks. But I'm happy with those. I think I'll do this black. I've got this sole edge and heel polish, so that you do your edges, you see, this kind of thing. That's a bit red now because I redid the red after the shoes were done. So I'm not too sure about these heels. Can you see this here? It's not a very good connection, but then I'm not sure it's exactly a defect either. And one of the heels, if you look, is quite narrow compared to this one. But I think they've done it because of how the shoe sits on the floor, you know, to give it some sort of flatness, if you get what I mean. But yeah, those heels are a little bit odd. I might go back about that because I'm not overly happy actually. I hadn't noticed the difference from the back. If you put the heels together, let's just do this right. Line up the backs and the stitching, and then look at that. Doesn't look right, does it? And if you look here, you can see where they've cut it all out there. Anyway, that's not my project. I don't have the tools for resoling. I did give it a go doing it by hand. It wasn't a good result. That's why they went in the loft and stayed there for so long. So, I'm going to order the dye. And I am going to change the colour of these boots. Got a spare pair of laces in. Yeah, I'm going to change the colour of these boots for sure. And I will come back on here and I will do them on here. And I will do the full jobber on them in one go. As soon as the dye comes, we shall do that job and we'll see what I can do with them. And hopefully, I'll do a fantastic job. So, I will be back as soon as my dye comes. Now I've got to work out how to end this video. There we go. See you soon. If I can end the stream.